You ever feel like you've maxed out your ideas for managing your affiliate program? On this final episode of this series, I'm sharing 11 more creative, under the radar ways that I've used AI to streamline, scale, and improve affiliate management, especially the parts you didn't even know could be outsourced to AI. We're talking about social monitoring, copywriting, challenge creation, even handling those tricky affiliate conversations with way more grace than I usually muster on my own. Let's dive in. If you're ready to take your affiliate program and your business to the next level, well, you're in the right place. I'm Matt McWilliams, best-selling author and 4-time Affiliate Manager of the Year, and I've built dozens of affiliate programs from the ground up to over $1 million a month. I'm here to show you how you can do it too. Let's get started. Well, welcome to part 6. This is the final episode in our AI for Affiliate Managers series. I said the last one probably would be, and well, as I have been like this entire series, I was wrong. I think I said initially we'd have 3 parts. We're double that. It's been a great series though. If you've made it this far, you're either really curious, really committed, or maybe just addicted to AI like I am. I will tell you the feedback I have gotten on this series has been absolutely amazing. Everything from like during we started this series 42 days ago, and in that time I've released a new product, Affiliate Email Pro, and I've got a new one coming, and then more and more and more. And that's the result of this. Like the feedback that I've gotten from listeners has just been amazing. And thank you for that, first of all. Thank you. Thank you. It's good to know that like what I'm doing actually matters. That's the big thing to me. Now today we're gonna talk about some of the most creative, probably some of the most overlooked ways that you can use AI to support your affiliates. Things like improving retention of affiliates. One of the big things, like some of the stuff that in this episode are actually things that I have instituted in the 42 days since we started this series. Some of these things are new to me. And while I said at the beginning that I really wanted to keep these as like completely proven, oh my goodness, these are things I've been doing for 6 months plus, that's not practical. I wanted to share some of these because there's a few of these are brand new ways I've just started within the past 6 weeks. And I started them because as I've dug deeper into AI and how to use it, I've learned a few things. For instance, initially, everything started out as a chat. It was just a chat in ChatGPT or Grok or whatever. Since then, most of what I'm doing in ChatGPT has become custom GPTs. So I had a chat for creating emails. Well, that became custom GPTs. And then I had a chat for legal questions. That became a custom GPT. And part of that is you can control things better. You can set rules. So I'll give you an example. By creating a custom GPT, I can tell it in the configuration of the GPT, do not do this. Do not do this. Sign every email this way. And you think, okay, what's the big deal about, how long does it take to edit the signature of the email? 5 seconds? Probably 4, and the big thing is like strategizing the email and things like that. But why take that 4 seconds plus this other 15 seconds plus this other 30 seconds plus this other 15? Why take that extra minute every day, 365 days a year, when you can tell it not to do that in the configuration? And custom GPTs actually do a better job of remembering everything and following the rules than just a chat does. I think I talked about in the last episode that like chats tend to go back to kind of what you said in the beginning. Like if you say, here's some stuff that I want to do, and maybe you weren't sure about A or B, and then eventually you decide on B, but it still remembers that you kind of liked A, then it like hallucinates and adds A in there sometimes. And so everything has become custom GPTs for me. And it's really been amazing. Like even in the last 42 days, how much I've added. So I'm going to talk about a few of those today. These are the things that most affiliate managers aren't thinking about yet. So this is your chance to stand out. Again, as I mentioned before, if you have any questions or you want some prompts or whatever, you can shoot me a text at 260-217-4619, and I'll send that over. I should mention, by the way, if I haven't before, the texting is only in the US. I cannot accept international text. I'm sorry. You can email me at matt@mattmcwilliams.com, and I can answer you there. So let's get into it. Let's get into these last 11 today. The first one, number one, is using AI to create engagement challenges for affiliates. So this is an opportunity for you to gamify things, especially like a partner group. So I'll go into the partner Facebook group and I'll say, hey, post a reel this week and win a prize. And the reality is I've thought of some good ones. And in fact, I trained a GPT on this for me. I said, here are all the ways that I've done this in the past. And I think I had like 37 examples. And I said, use these, but I'd also like some new ones. And AI is great at brainstorming challenge ideas and writing the posts, even things like, creating the visuals. And so a prompt that I'll use is, give me 5 challenge ideas for affiliates that increase social sharing. Include reward ideas, posting frequency, and sample posts. And then once it does, like it'll, it gives me 5. I'm going to pick one. Then I'll say, great, write the post, then create a visual for that. And this gets affiliates moving. It gets them talking, especially during these, quiet periods. Like I know a lot of our clients, the middle of summer is a really slow time for them. There's no holidays that affect sales. There's no back to school. There's no, whatever, right? It's a slow time. And so this gives you the ability to just create a little bit of energy. Is it going to triple your sales? No. But could it increase it 10 or 20%? Absolutely. The second way for today is creating post-promo surveys for your affiliates. I love getting feedback on promotions and launches and things like that. I hate creating surveys though. They take a lot of time and they are just cumbersome to create. So I have a chat there, or actually a GPT now, where it knows about the promo. And I just say, hey, here's the prompt, by the way. Write a 5-question survey to send to affiliates after a promo to learn what worked, what didn't, and how we can improve. And so these surveys help us. We might only get, in a medium-sized program with, say, 1,000 affiliates, we might only get 40 responses. But I can then take those responses, put them into AI and say, okay, analyze the results of this survey. What worked? What didn't? How can we improve? And I will tell you that if I do this 12 times a year, 4 of them, I don't learn anything. There's really nothing that we learn. And a couple of them, we learn stuff that kind of like, yeah, we already knew that. Good reminder, but that's still helpful. But about 5-6 times a year, we learn stuff that we never knew. And so a couple of days after a promo, not more than 3 days tops. If it ends on a Friday, you send it out on Monday. If it ends on any other day, you can send it out, pretty much like 2 days later. And just get feedback while everything is still top of mind. And vary the questions and have AI write the questions and then analyze the results so you actually learned what worked and what didn't. Because the reality is they're going to write, if you allow them to write long stuff, reading even just 25 responses, it takes a long time. Whereas AI can just tell you what you should have learned, what's working and what's not, and how you can improve. The third way for today, this has been an absolute game changer for me because I work with so many international affiliates, particularly there's a few niches where we work in that really aren't English based. They're neutral. So translating anything, translating emails. I have one, for example, we have like 30 to 35 affiliates that are in Germany. Now, most of them speak English, but it's nice. It's a service to them to translate things into German. So you can use AI tools to translate all your stuff for different international affiliates, especially if you know an affiliate's big, and you want to translate something into their native language. It's a nice little touch. And so there's a bunch of AI tools. GPT-4 can do it. DeepL can do it. You can create swipe copy for your international affiliates, send them emails separately. Again, especially if you got like 30 or 100 affiliates, you can create it, a separate group of them and just email them in their native language. It's very simple. Like the prompt is just translate this email into Spanish for a business focused audience. Keep the tone friendly but professional, and it removes those language barriers. It really is a nice touch for those affiliates. Speaking of nice touches, number 4, you can create personalized recap reports. So this is another custom GPT that I created. If you don't have hundreds of examples, so I actually went back and found a boatload of examples from my sent folder, and I had my VA take them, and I think we loaded 400 or 500 into them. We did actually load this into Affiliate Email Pro, by the way. So if you get Affiliate Email Pro, it's already been trained on how to create these emails. But we actually created a separate GPT just for my own use, specifically for recap reports. But if you don't have them, again, if you don't have something to train it with, Affiliate Email Pro works great for doing this. Again, there's a link to the show notes. But basically, it allows you to send top affiliates a custom recap of their promo performance. So they get an email that says, "Hey, you earned $2,127 from 358 clicks. You had a top 3 opt-in rate. Whatever, right?" And so we take all this data, as I talked about probably back in the first or second episode. We take all the data we loaded in, and then one of the things that we do is we generate kind of a summary with all the data, and then we take the data and we feed it back in. We say, okay, the prompt here is summarize this data. So we paste the data in, summarize this data into a short, positive recap message for an affiliate, including their stats, wins, and a suggestion for next time. So because we've trained it, it knows what to look for. What are the wins? For instance, that top 3 opt-in rate. When it says that, it knows that because I've said those things before. So again, Affiliate Email Pro has been trained on this. Affiliates love knowing how they did, and the personalized stats, it really, it's personal. It helps them see the value in promoting again. So again, take the data and say, okay, generate a custom email, custom recap for each of these affiliates. And tell it what you want. Like I said, include their stats, include wins, include a suggestion for next time. I will tell you that, using the spin-off from Affiliate Email Pro that I created, and the only reason I did that actually was just from a what's the word I'm looking for? A token use. AEP uses a lot of tokens, and so this uses less tokens specifically for that. But again, I'm doing this 50 times a day on average. So if you're doing it once or twice a day, you don't have to worry about that. But I will tell you that when it makes a suggestion, is where I was trying to go with that. When it makes a suggestion for the next time, or when it includes a win, it's right about 98% of the time. Occasionally, the suggestion it makes for, something they could do in the future is kind of dumb, and I have to go clean that up. Or the win is like, something just asinine, right? It's like you had a top 70% conversion rate. It's like, yippee, I don't think it's ever done that one, but it was like, I remember one time, I can't even remember the context, but it was like, It was like somebody that had gone, they made 4 sales in the month. And it was like, you doubled your sales from last month. I was like, that's not a win when you go from 2 to 4. You know, I don't know that I don't know that that's what I would highlight. And so again, it's iterative. I'm like, don't do that. You know, here's what I would suggest instead. And it learns and then it gets pretty good. So it's now probably accurate 99% of the time, but you know, don't just copy and paste it. Like check it out real quick. They're pretty short emails. Number 5 is been a lifesaver for me in a sense. Answering difficult questions from affiliates. You know, sometimes affiliates are frustrated. Sometimes there are payout issues. There's tracking confusion. Maybe they missed a prize. They reach out and they ask a question it's a difficult one to answer in a diplomatic way, right? So maybe you're I don't know, they want to know, you know, why they had a reversal on a sale and that caused them to miss a big prize and they're upset. What I found that AI does is it helps me address those with empathy. I'm admittedly, I'm not a naturally empathetic person. I'm a sympathetic person, but I actually, you know, have acknowledged this with my loved ones. You know, like empathy is a tough one for me, and because you know, for whatever reason, you know, some people say it might be Asperger's. I don't know, but you know, empathy is just one of those things that I've always struggled a little bit with. To be like, no, this is the way. Like, you made 39 sales. The goal was 40. You don't get the prize. Why are you confused? And so this really helps me. AI has really helped me. What I used to have to do before was like write it, run it by somebody, sit on it for a day, and then send it. And so this has allowed me to respond much quicker. And I mean, tone is everything in tough conversations, right? And so AI helps you be clear without being cold. And that's really what I found. So I will take an email that I've written. Again, I created a custom GPT for this, but Affiliate Email Pro does the same thing. It's just that at the volume that I'm doing this, I've chosen to spin it off into its own custom GPT. And it just says, you know, I'll just say, write a calm and friendly response to an affiliate who's upset that they didn't receive a contest prize. Like, here's what they wrote, and here are the details. Here's my notes on that, you know, include reassurance and next steps. And that's important. And so I'll say, here's, you know, a lot of times what I'll do is I'll always say, here's the issue I'm having. So I'm having trouble responding to an affiliate in an empathetic tone. Period. You know, see, I even say the period there. That's so weird because I'm so used to doing voice to text now. That's going to be a problem over the next year. I think I left a voicemail with somebody the other day and I said the word period. And I was like, oh my goodness, what a doofus. Anyway, so I'll say, you know, I'm having trouble writing a response to an email from an affiliate who's complaining about this. Here's what they wrote. Then I'll say, here's the details of the contest. Here's our previous interaction. And here's what I would like to write in response. What suggestions would you make to improve this email? And then it will make the suggestions. It's a great, make those, you know, write the email. And it does. And I copy and paste it. I might change one thing, you know, I might change one word and I'll send it. So this, like I said, has been a huge, huge help for me. The next one is creating ad copy for affiliates. And a great example of this is retargeting their clicks. This has been a big help because we know we need to do it. The affiliates know they need to do it. We know they need to do it. And yet the time is usually just not there. And so where AI has been super helpful is focusing on retargeting specifically, just because the bang for the buck is so high, the conversions are so high, and it's really an easy way to increase sales 10 to 15%. You know, you're not going to double sales, but it's just so easy. So we'll have it right, you know, the headlines, short form copy, you know, some level of urgency. And I mean, it's a huge way to increase conversions. And we make it super easy for them. We give them plug and play ads. We'll give them 10, no more than 10, because then they have to choose from more than 10. It's like, oh my gosh, they have to make decisions. You look like a genius and they make more sales and so do you. So simple prompt, write 3, 10, whatever. I'll typically do 10. And then I'll have it make 10. I'll remove 3 and I'll give them 7, So write 10 retargeting Facebook ad headlines and descriptions for people who visited the sales page but didn't buy. Focus on simplicity and results. And you could add words like urgency or whatever that you want there. And I do this after, again, they already know what the sales page says. The AI already knows what the sales page says. It's already written swipe copy. It's already written social media copy. It's already written other ads. And it's super easy. And usually, like I said, I'll have it generate 10, somewhere between 2 and 4 are kind of not great. And then the rest are pretty amazing. And I give them straight to the affiliate. Sometimes I have to take like certain headlines and then match them with a different body text as well. But the whole process takes like 5 minutes tops. Number 7 is creating pre-written, what I call casual mention scripts for affiliates. Here's the thing. Some affiliates do not know how to casually mention your product, your service, your promotion to their audience. They are terrible at it. Some partners are super confident sellers and they can just, they are masters at this. Others need scripts. So give them a few natural sounding blurbs that they can copy and paste and then use as part of their script. These lower the barrier for them and increase that casual engagement. So what I'll do is I'll just, I'll have a prompt. I'll say, write 5 IG story scripts where an affiliate casually mentions they're promoting our planner, explains why they love it, and invites followers to check it out. And then I might, depending upon the size of the affiliate, I might actually customize that and say, okay, create 5 for this particular affiliate, which I've already trained the GPT on. Here's who that affiliate is. So I typically, with each client, I have, I'll have a GPT for this, and I've already loaded like the top 30 in their, in this case, like their IG profiles. They're already loaded in there. It already knows their styles. So I might say, write a short IG story for Jennifer Thomas, where she casually mentions that she's promoting the menu planner and explains why she loves it and invites her followers to check it out. We have a promo going on this week for 20% off site-wide or something like that. And I give those to them and they use them, especially, like I said, when they're not super confident with it. Number 8, I talked about affiliate spotlights before. One of the things I didn't talk about was, so affiliate spotlights where you highlight an affiliate, you spotlight an affiliate, and you talk about what they're doing and what's working for them, and so the other affiliates can learn. Well, creating those interview questions. Creating interview questions has been the single most amazing thing, by the way. I can't remember the last podcast interview I did. I think it was Donald Miller earlier, I don't know, 3-4 months ago. I interviewed him about his book, StoryBrand, Creating a StoryBrand 2.0, I think is the name of it. And I used AI to create a large chunk of those questions. I basically took all of my notes and highlights from the book, and I took pictures, put them in a Google Doc, saved them, and I copied those over, and then I said, like, hey AI, create interview questions based on this, right? And I'm going to share a prompt you can use for your affiliates here in a second, and then it created the questions. I had a few that I wanted to ask, but I think 2/3 of the questions were from AI, and they were so good. So it's really good at coming up with interview questions that spotlight an affiliate. Again, going back to what we talked about before, those spotlights, they build community, but they're educational for your affiliates. What's working for one affiliate will likely work for other affiliates. And great questions lead to better answers, which leads to better content. So I'll write a prompt, and I always ask for more than what I need. So if you feel like, okay, I want this to be a 15-minute spotlight, 7 questions, ask for 30, because then you'll get 15 good ones and you can go from there. So I'll say write 30 creative interview questions for, this affiliate. They're super successful. Here's some of their stats. Here's, whatever information. Here's their Instagram profile. Here's here's the list of posts that they posted about. Here's some of their emails. Include questions about their promotion strategy, their audience fit, their favorite tools, et cetera, and have it tell you what to do. It works. It's so good. All right, number 9. This is one of my favorite ones in terms of just coolness factor. Building a tiered rewards calculator. So when affiliates can see what they're working toward, they push harder. And giving them a clear and obvious path to the next prize is super, it's just unbelievably powerful motivation, right? So you feed AI your commission structure, you feed it your bonus tiers, you feed it your goals, and you ask it to build a mini tool or a chart that shows affiliates how to hit each tier. So I literally will prompt it and say, this is exact one that I recently used. Create a simple chart that shows how many sales an affiliate needs to earn $500, $1,000, and $2,500 based on our payout structure. I already had loaded all that because I needed it to create the affiliate sales page. We talked about that before. Creating a sales page for your affiliate program where you sell your affiliate program, not literally like selling it, but just, selling it, meaning getting people to sign up. I'd already fed it and I was like, create a little chart that shows how much they need, how many sales they need to earn those or make those amounts of money. It's so cool. I mean, like, boom, done. Now, when we factor in bonuses and stuff like that, it includes that. So to earn $2,500, let's say your product is exactly $100 and you offer a 50% commission, you would say, well, you got to make 50 sales. $50, 2,500 divided by 50 is 50. Not exactly, because at 40 sales, for example, they earn a $400 bonus. So really, they only need 42 sales to make $2,500. And yeah, like I just figured that math up in my head, but sometimes the math's much more complicated than that. And just asking AI to do the work, boom, then you get a pretty chart and it's super easy to use and super motivating for affiliates. All right, number 10 addresses probably one of the things that I used to have to spend an hour a week doing that I absolutely hate, drives me nuts, sucks the soul out of me, and makes me want to not work in the industry. And that is writing affiliate updates for clients. Now, this could be for clients or it could be for bosses. So if you run an agency and you're writing 4, 5, 6 of these a week, it's really, really helpful. But what if you're only writing one every 2 weeks for your boss? You're only writing 26 of these a year. Well, it still could be taking you 13, 14, 20 hours a year. 20 hours a year is half of a work week. That's a lot of time. So you want your clients, you want your boss to understand how the affiliate program is going. They want clarity, right? They don't want spreadsheets. They don't want complex data and a bunch of stuff. Usually some of them do. They want an easy to read update that they can read in 3 minutes, right? So use AI. AI can summarize trends. It can summarize concerns, can summarize wins into a quick update that you can send. And so train it. First of all, I'll give you the prompt here and then we'll talk about it. So summarize this affiliate. This is exactly what I do. Summarize this affiliate activity report into a short internal briefing for my client or the boss, if that was the case. Include wins, concerns, and what's coming next. Now, if you have some previous ones, odds are you do. You've been doing this for a while. Train it on the format you want. Share as many past examples if you have, even if you have 10. That's a lot. I had hundreds. They were all in Google Docs that I basically just, was like download. I got like 60 of them and then finally decided, like, I think that's enough. And I uploaded those and I was like, here's the format to put this in. It is mind-blowing what it's done. Now, this is a thing that, like, if you're not currently doing it for your clients, your boss, uh, create a format. Just start doing it. Have it suggest a format and start sending them to your clients or boss. Like, they will be blown away. And then you can tweak it over time. But basically, all I do is I take the spreadsheet, CSV file, and I say, here's the CSV. You already know the emails that we sent last week and the promos that we did, and et cetera, et cetera. Summarize it, create a report. It's unbelievable what it's done. It writes the reports for me now. I literally don't have to. I mean, I can't to say this, but I don't even really look at them anymore because they do such a great job. Now, I do look at we do an internal one for me that's a little bit more in depth. I do look at that because that's what I need to see, but I don't even look at the one that we send to the clients. All right, the final one, number 11, is one that we just started doing that's worked. It's really, really helping us. Monitoring social mentions from affiliates. So this is one where we actually are using Grok on this one, because not only does it have up to the moment basically info from X, but it's actually got pretty recent access to Instagram and other platforms. And we basically just use AI to track who's posting about us, what different products, clients, summarize what they're saying. We include this in that summary, by the way. It's a separate thing that usually we just copy and paste over. But it's perfect for spotting opportunities or engaging with affiliates or, resharing or, just seeing what they're saying, seeing what's working, looking at their stuff and going, gosh, that one had 48 likes and 72 replies. That's kind of cool, and just being able to engage with them a little bit and tell them thank you, to send, I don't know, I don't do it too often because it becomes a little bit overkill, but I send 5 to 10 messages a week where I'm like, hey, great post. Loved this post. Just send them a DM or an email and they love it. And again, if I do it every week, it's like, dude, you're just doing that every week. That's annoying. But if I do it with any individual affiliate once every 6 months, they love it. So a simple prompt, just summarize recent social media posts from affiliates that mention our product, highlight tone, post type, and engagement. Since we have loaded our affiliates' social media profiles into the AI, then it actually just knows where to look, and it's amazing. You can also use it, just something that we'll talk about more when we talk about our new tool, but like finding people who are already mentioning your product and turning them into affiliates is a really cool way to use AI as well. But we'll talk about that coming up here pretty soon. This has been awesome. This episode, hopefully you have gotten as much out of this as you did the previous 5 episodes. Today, we talked about like engaging affiliates, surveying affiliates, doing those recap reports, some of the boring stuff, translating things, generating scripts, interview questions, even answering those tough affiliate questions with empathy is a pretty cool way to use AI. I mentioned before, I'll mention one last time here. If you want any of the prompts or have any questions or any comments, I'd love to hear from you. You can text me at 260-217-4619. Just as a final reminder, the stuff I've shared in this series, probably 50 some odd ideas for using AI, it's not about replacing your brain. Okay? This isn't about becoming more of a bot or a cyborg or something like that. Ultimately, it's really all about just giving you more time to do what only you can do. Only you can build the relationships. Only you can solve the problems. Only you can be the leader of a absolutely world-class affiliate program. That's what this is all about. Allowing you to do the things that only you can do and not have to, like, writing those, those things to clients. writing the briefs, the the affiliate health reports. I mean, really, is that the best use of your time? No. Going on the internet and searching like I used to have to find when people mentioned you, not the best use of your time. Use AI to then trigger the conversation where you reach out to them and tell them, thank you. That's the best use of your time. So that wraps up the affiliate manager side of the series. Next week, we're going to flip the script. We're going to talk about how affiliates can use AI to make more money and promote better. If you've got affiliates, you still want to listen. Like, even if you're not doing affiliate marketing, but by the way, you should be, because the best affiliate managers are also affiliates, I've learned. You're going to want to share these episodes with them. You're going to want to learn how they can use AI better. So whether you're an affiliate or an affiliate manager or both, you're going to want to listen to the upcoming series. I don't know. Again, like I said before, maybe it'll be 2 episodes. Who knows? Maybe we'll go 10. No idea. But until then, keep testing things, keep learning things, keep leading, keep trying things. If you're not already using AI, get in there and try it. And make sure, if you haven't yet, that you hit subscribe, because you don't want to miss the series we have coming up on how affiliates can use AI in their affiliate marketing. You don't want to miss it. So make sure you hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Thank you so much for listening today. If you know someone who would benefit from hearing this episode, make sure to share it with them. And if you have a question, you can ask it at asktheaffiliateguy.com. Questions make my best episode, and it's a great way to get featured right here on the podcast. And if you're loving what you're hearing, please take a moment to leave a rating and review. That helps others find this content so we can all benefit from it. See you soon.